Hey everybody, I wanted to do a quick video on direct and indirect object pronouns because this gave people some difficulty on the exam, and some people have it really clear and some people need a little bit more help with it. So we're going to start with this sentence that I have down here, which is somebody does something for somebody. And this is the essential idea of direct and indirect object pronouns. So first we have the somebody who does the action. This is called our subject. This is who is doing the thing in the sentence. Then, of course, we have our verb. And then, of course, the something. Something in this case is going to be our direct object. And a for somebody is our indirect object. So, for example, let me give you a sentence and pause it if you'd like. I cook the potatoes for mom. Who is the subject? I, because I do it. The verb, cook. What is the something that's being cooked? The potatoes. For somebody, for mom. So when we're looking at sentences like this, what we're looking to replace is the for somebody and the something. We cannot replace the somebody or the subject or the verb. Those have to stay. We're looking to replace the something and the for somebody, not the first part. So let's go back up here. Mamá pasa las flores a Sabrina. So I want you to pause this video for a second, and I want you to identify the subject, who is doing the action, the verb, what is the action, the something, and the somebody. Pause it now. Good. So we have, of course, mama is the subject. She's doing the action. We can't replace her. Pasa, that's the verb. You can't replace that. So we're left with two things. We're left with a something, las flores, and we're left with a somebody, which is a Sabrina. So the something is a direct object. The somebody is an indirect object. So we have las flores. What is las flores? If we're following it down here, it's singular and it's feminine. So it's right here. It's that one, right? So we're going to put las up here. Sabrina, well, we know it's not me, it's not te, it's not nos, and it's not os. It's got to be le or le. So we ask ourselves, is it singular or plural? In this case, it is singular. So we have le, las. And remember, when we're rewriting this sentence, we always want it to go, these things always have to go before the verb, immediately before the verb, right? And we know that this pasa is the verb. And we're going to put people, which is the le, the indirect goes before the direct. Le, las, pasa. So instead of saying mom passes the flowers to Sabrina, we're saying mom passes them to her. And the other rule we have here is you can't lay low in Mexico. So this has to change to a se. Se las pasa. Mama se las pasa. So the big thing in every one of these sentences is identify the subject, who is doing the verb. Identify the verb. That should be the easy part. Identify the something that is being done by the verb. The potatoes are that we cook the potatoes. Cook is the verb. The potatoes are being cooked. So potatoes are a direct object. And then identify who it's being done for. And that should give you right away the direct object is here. The indirect object is the for somebody. So I want you to pause again, figure out the last three, and then we'll come back and see if you get it right. Okay, so yo estoy haciendo la tarea para ti. So here we have our subject. This is who is doing the verb. We can't replace them. This here is a verb. This here is a verb, right? I'm going to erase that because I got a little bit in there. Estoy haciendo, I am doing. These two things together make up our verb phrase, verbal phrase. So we can't replace either of those. So we have la tarea and para ti. So what's the something that's being done? La tarea. So we know that's a direct object. So we'll have la for somebody. Who is the homework being done for? Para ti, which is going to be te, right? And remember, people come before things. Yo te la estoy haciendo. Now, when we have the ando and yendo in the present progressive, we can also go te estoy haciéndotela, and we would erase that. That's an option. You don't have to do that. And what many students indeed prefer to do, it's not quite working the way I want it, is just keep them up here because it follows the same pattern as this does over here, right? And you're perfectly fine doing that. You just have to know that it can exist the other way. It doesn't have to. So, tú quieres cocinar la cena para mí. So here we have our subject. Can't replace that. Here we have two verbs together, right? These are our verbs. Can't replace either of those. So now we have la cena and para mí. What's the something? The something is la cena, which is direct object, which will be la. Who's the somebody? Para mí. Indirect object, which will be me. Tú me da quieres cocinar. And when we have infinitive like we have here, we could actually stick these on the end, cocinármela, and get rid of those. But again, we don't have to do that. We can leave them up here because it follows the same pattern and just be done with it. So this is the one that actually got people into a little bit of trouble on the exam. So Luisa ve una película. So here we have Luisa. She's our subject. She's the one doing the action, so we can't replace her. Here we have our verb. Can't replace that. So all we're left with is una película. Is that a something or is that a somebody? That's a something, right? So that's a direct object. Una película, we're going to do la. And here we don't have any indirect objects. There just are none, right? We have a subject, we have a verb, we have a direct object. That's it. So this one is actually a lot easier. So Luisa la ve. And that's it. So as long as you keep this in mind down here, this is all about somebody doing something for somebody else, right? I write the homework for you. I am the subject, write is the verb, the homework is a direct object, for you is our indirect object. As long as you keep this in mind, this equation, you'll be able to figure out indirect and direct objects. I really hope this was helpful. Thank you.